online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Hello and welcome to this on-the-road video. I am still on a trip here, and I've heard a few AFFS people talking about this one. Someone had to bring one on the dropship as I was floating around, and was confused by why this Warhammer had arms and legs that weren't meant to be on an archer. Started digging into it, talking to the boys, and I learned about the Warcher. I'm not sure the name is going to stick. It's what it's been called for a while now, but it's not the standard name for it, I guess. I am not 100% sure. It is basically a FrankenMech, and FrankenMechs are not a new thing. I mean, people have been kit-bashing mechs together for as long as mechs have existed, just to try to keep the darn things running. But this one here has been in full production for a few years now. Started production in 3136 for the Mark 1, the Mark 2 coming out in 3038, and the new Mark 3 in 3041, from what my notes are saying here. Three fairly similar machine in terms of aspect and what kind of weapon it kind of holds, but very different in terms of, the everything that's surrounding it. The original one was a FrankenMech built in a somewhat larger amount by a guy called Margraves Stevenson. He served during the Ronin War and the War of 39 and salvaged everything he could from every single side to build his own mech force. Mainly served in the Rasselhague Republic, and add a few of those Warchers running around. The original ones weren't using any real fancy technology, at least not for today, but it was still a pretty darn advanced machine for the time in 3039. It was a Warhammer body with arms from an archer and leg mounts from an archer stuck into it, and a cockpit module from an archer stuck on a Warhammer. Quite a few different things meshed together. But really, it's a simple enough design. Standard armor, ferrofibrous armor, actually, that he was able to get. Probably from the Cretan forces, mixed with some cases that were installed to protect the ammo. For the many weapons that used ammo on there, an LB-10X being the main gun with 4 tons of ammo, so 2 tons of cluster, 2 tons of slugs, or whatever you want to have. A pair of SRM-6 from Warhammers, one on each shoulder. The machine guns from the Warhammer are still on there with only a half a ton of ammo, protected by the case, so it's pretty safe. And 3 medium lasers, basically the medium lasers from both arms of the archer stuck on this one, plus an extra one and a weird arm mount. And it worked. Honestly, this particular mech worked better than most people expected. Well enough that he actually produced a number of them for his own use and a few for other people. Not a thing that was mass-produced or built by any companies, but our good friend Margrave, well, had enough built that he could have retired, but he actually kept using them, kept fighting the good fight against Cretan, Davion, Steiner forces, whoever was attacking the Rasselhague Republic. And during the Clan invasion, he relocated his headquarters and production facilities, if you can call it that, to the Free Worlds League, where he still proudly wore his Rasselhagian colors and grew his empire from there. While it wasn't a big hit, and there were probably a few more Warchers running around in different forms all the way through the Jihad, the most recent versions of the Warcher are standard machines that have been purchased by EarthWerks and, just about everybody, because they sent cease and desist letters to the Margraves Stevenson family and estate to try to have them stop building the darn things. Rather than doing that, he struck an agreement with EarthWerks and StarCorps and Ceres later on to have them build their own custom version of the Warcher. And the deal worked fairly well. The new, more modern ones have far more advanced technology on them, but even there, they're still rather reliable kind of things. Your Warcher Mark 1, basic one, basically, because it's the one that is built in Ausmeric territory by the Margrave estate, basically. It is equipped with an Imperator rotary AC-5 with ammos in Case 2 bins. The shoulders still hold the same good old Holly 6-tube SRMs, and the belly mount a pair of medium laser and small pulse lasers for anti-infantry work. It's still fairly cheap. I won't say it's the cheapest mech around, but for a 70-ton mech in this day and age, under 20 million C-bills is not that bad. And the way it's built with Case 2s is going to keep it well protected. At least well protected enough. The armor itself is ballistic reinforced, which is very good against missiles and against autocannon fire. Could they have used standard armor or ferrofibrous? I'm not sure why ballistic reinforced was selected here. But this particular model fought on the Merrick side against the Clan Wolf Empire and the Marian Hegemony. And apparently has served well enough that the Free Worlds League military has ordered another run of the product, which is always a good thing for new mechs. Further down the line, we've got the Warcher Mark II, which is the one I saw first, personally. This one was built for the AFFS, for the Federated Sons, fighting the Curidans. So rather than using ballistic reinforced armor, they use laser reflective armor, which is pretty useful against lasers and against PPCs and other fun things like that. And your main gun is replaced with an heavy PPC to give you more punch, and an Angel ECM is mounted to help with all sorts of ECM work, especially breaking up C3 networks. I think this one is pretty good as well. Of course, a different type of armor. Not always a huge fan of laser reflective. If you get into fist fights, which you could very well do with a Warcher, you might get in trouble, but still, I'm happy to say it exists, and maybe replacing the armor with just standard would be enough. Who knows? Your turn model is a Liao exclusive built by Series. I can't tell you if they have any issues coming from the Jaded Mandarin controversy, but you have a pair of small pulse lasers, a pair of medium pulse lasers, a pair of MML 7s rather than the SRM 6, giving you both LRMs and SRM support. You only have a ton of each, but it should be enough. Still everything protected in a Case 2, with a plasma rifle as your main gun. Plasma rifles are quite efficient. So those were the three main designs which have come out. There's a new Ghost Bear / Nova Cat version of it, the Mark IV, which is semi-omni using Andel designs, codenamed Margraves. I've only heard about it. Same family as the Zaku 2 and the Leo with Andel equipment, with pod emplacements in the shoulders and in the body. That is very interesting, very nice, but I haven't touched one of those yet or even seen any gun cam of it. I'm going to ask my friends at Phi Galaxy if they can send me some details. Honestly, this is a decent investment for what you could do. There's far worse mechs at 70 tons in this particular price range, and since it's in full production in, well, now 3 major locations, almost 4, we're probably bound to see more and more of those things. And who knows, maybe the Lyrans and maybe the Curitans will decide to build their own version at some point. So I thank you very much for listening to me for so long. I hope you guys have a very nice rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.